I was gonna just list off a bunch of great Tyrion quotes for the intro here, but there were just way too many, so... Hey guys, I'm Rebecca from WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Tyrion moments. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. That means we're singling out Game of Thrones moments involving Tyrion Lannister that were funny, inspirational, tragic, or just downright badass. As long as it left an impact, it will be included. Also, obviously, a spoiler alert is now in effect. Let's get to it. Number 10, never forget what you are. It's no surprise that after this short speech, we all fell in love with Tyrion Lannister. It comes in the very first episode of the show, when Tyrion is outside with Jon Snow.
You're Tyrion Lannister, the Queen's brother?
My greatest accomplishment. You're Ned Stark's bastard, aren't you?
He tells a brooding Snow to wear his bastard title as armor, because the rest of the world will never forget his heritage. Of course, Tyrion speaks from experience, as the rest of the world, and especially his family, demeans Tyrion for being a dwarf.
Let me give you some advice, bastard. Never forget what you are. The rest of the world will not.
But rather than whining about it, Tyrion embraces his so-called weakness and forges other strengths, like his quick wit and intelligence. This speech alone added depth and complexity to Tyrion's character, and it immediately made us sympathetic to his plight. It's amazing what just a few words can do.
What the hell do you know about being a bastard?
All dwarves are bastards in their father's eyes.
Number 9, nominating Bran. In this moment, Tyrion changed the course of history in Westeros forever. When a decision must be made about who will take the Iron Throne in the show's series finale, Tyrion nominates a seemingly unlikely candidate, Bran the Broken.
And who has a better story than Bran the Broken?
While it seems like a strange proposition at first, by the time he's made his case, everyone, including the audience, can't help but agree.
He is our memory, the keeper of all our stories. The wars, weddings, births, massacres, famines, our triumphs.
Bran can't father children, meaning that his successors will earn the throne instead of inheriting it, ending a centuries-long tradition of tyranny in Westeros.
Sons of kings can be cruel and stupid, as you well know. His will never torment us.
In the end, Tyrion succeeds in doing what Daenerys couldn't. He breaks the wheel.
That is the wheel our queen wanted to break.
Number 8, getting hammered at his wedding. Tyrion's wedding was one for the ages. Well, it certainly wasn't as memorable as Joffrey's, but it was still something else. First, Tyrion gets absolutely wasted and makes a fool of himself by spilling wine and checking his teeth with a dinner plate. Then he declares himself the god of tits and wine, which we can't really argue with.
Drinking and lust. No man can match me in these things. I am the god of tits and wine.
And to top it all off, he threatens to castrate Joffrey in front of the entire reception before talking about his own small manhood.
Then you'll be f***ing your own bride with a wooden cock.
We all love witnessing a good Joffrey takedown, but we can't help but feel bad for Tyrion as the man is clearly suffering, and all he can do is drink away his problems.
A bad joke, Your Grace.
Number 7, meeting with Daenerys and Jorah. Now, is this the best job interview ever, or what? In this scene, Tyrion talks at length with Daenerys and eventually worms his way into her service as her political advisor.
Why should I spend my time listening to you?
Because you cannot build a better world on your own. You have no one at your side who understands the land you want to rule.
And his first task sees him convincing Daenerys to banish Jorah from Meereen. It's both an uplifting and heartbreaking sequence, depending on whose point of view you value.
He claims he would kill for you and die for you, and nothing I have witnessed gives me reason to doubt him. And yet he did betray you.
For Tyrion, this is a rousing and literally life-changing moment, as he lands himself a respectable and powerful job with his new queen. But for Jorah, this is a death sentence, as he fails to earn forgiveness from the woman he loves.
You're going to need to inspire devotion, a lot of it, if you're ever going to rule across the narrow sea. But you cannot have him by your side when you do.
The morose music encapsulates the bittersweet nature of the scene, and we don't know whether we should cheer or cry. Number 6, slapping Joffrey in the face. Tyrion slapping Joffrey will never get old. The first instance comes in the show's second episode, when Joffrey refuses to grant Ed and Catelyn his sympathies.
Oh, I can't stand the wailing of women.
The second and much more vicious slap comes in the second season after Joffrey orders the deaths of civilians and instigates a riot.
Find who did that and bring him to me! Hold on! Just kill them! Kill them all!
Joffrey was by no means a good person, so it's always satisfying to see him get his comeuppance. And it's even more satisfying to see it come from Tyrion himself.
You're talking to a king!
And now I've struck a king. Did my hand fall from my wrist?
Tyrion was one of the few people who had the guts to face Joffrey, and he was never afraid to publicly show his dissent. He may not be a fighter, but Tyrion Lannister is one of the bravest characters in the entire show. Number 5, rooting out Pycelle. Hot damn, do we love a good scheme. In the episode What Is Dead May Never Die, Tyrion successfully roots out Pycelle as Cersei's spy.
But the Queen mustn't know. I can't have her meddling in affairs that could determine the future of the realm. There's too much at stake.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, I shall be silent as the grave.
He does this with the old canary trap, giving different people different pieces of information and seeing which one gets leaked. For his trap, Tyrion tells Pycelle that Myrcella will marry Trystane Martell. Meanwhile, he tells Varys that Myrcella will marry Theon Greyjoy, and he tells Littlefinger that she will marry Robin Arryn. Cersei then confronts him about marrying Myrcella to the Martells, and Bob's your uncle.
Are you mad? The Martells loathe us.
It's a brilliant showcase of Tyrion's intelligence and cunning, and it proves that he can play the Game of Thrones with the best of them.
I told no one that I was offering her to the Dornish. No one but you.
Number 4, freeing the dragons. Tyrion knows that sometimes you just need dragons on your side. And in the 6th season episode Home, Tyrion ventures into the catacombs with Varys to meet Viserion and Rhaegal. Here, he tells them a sad story from his childhood about wanting a dragon of his own before unshackling their neck chains.
I begged him for one of you. It wouldn't even have to be a big dragon, I told him. It could be little, like me.
It's a fantastic moment as we get both a sad, introspective look into Tyrion's childhood and the amazing visual of Tyrion unchaining the dragons. They later break from the catacombs and help destroy the slavers' fleet alongside Daenerys and Drogon. It's a moment worthy of a fist pump, and it makes Tyrion look like an utter badass.
Next time I have an idea like that, punch me in the face.
Number 3, killing Tywin. The Children is one of the best episodes the show has ever produced, and Tyrion's character arc is a major reason for its acclaim. After he's freed by Jaime, Tyrion makes his way to the Tower of the Hand, where he regretfully strangles Shae with her own necklace. He then makes his way to the Privy and shoots his own father with a crossbow. It's one of the most shocking and unpredictable deaths of the show, although it comes from a place of understanding and deep tragedy. We understand why Tyrion committed patricide, but this isn't a death to be cheered. Tywin's demise was a long time coming, but it came at the expense of Tyrion's humanity.
I have always been your son.
Number 2, the Battle of the Blackwater. The Battle of the Blackwater encapsulates everything great about Tyrion. For one thing, he shows an immense amount of bravery by being there. He is not a soldier, yet he led the defense of his city. This is made even more impactful after Joffrey retreats to safety, allowing Tyrion to inspire the troops with a rousing speech.
There's a brave men knocking at our door. Let's go kill them!
He also shows strategic know-how by blowing up Stannis' fleet with wildfire.
Get down!
Oh, and then he gets his signature scar after being sliced across the face by Sir Mandon. And to top it all off, we see Tyrion at his most vulnerable, as he is denied recognition by Joffrey. He's a hero, yet no one knows it. Now, isn't that just a perfect representation of this tragic character?
The king won't give you any honors. The histories won't mention you. But we will not forget.
Oh man, I am so jazzed! That was such an epic moment in the show. All right, before we get to our number 1 pick, which is even better somehow, let's get through the anticipatory drum roll that is our honorable mentions.
A wise man once said, "The true history of the world is a history of great conversations in elegant rooms."
Who said this?
Me.
From there, I'm afraid it's rather a long walk to Castle Black. I hope you enjoy the wall. I found it surprisingly beautiful. In a brutal, horribly uncomfortable sort of way.
What is the meaning of this?
Number 1, the trial speech. Is Tyrion a part of every iconic Game of Thrones scene? It certainly seems like it. Tyrion's trial is often considered one of the best sequences of the entire show, and his scathing speech became an instant classic.
I saved you. I saved this city and all your worthless lives.
Here, he lambastes the citizens of King's Landing, states that Joffrey's death gave him immense pleasure, and proudly demands a trial by combat.
I demand a trial by combat.
All of this is spoken through gritted teeth and with pure fire in his eyes. It is an acting masterclass from Peter Dinklage, and it proves that 2 minutes of drama can be more impactful than an hour of action and spectacle.
I wish I was the monster you think I am. I wish I had enough poison for the whole pack of you. I would gladly give my life to watch you all swallow it.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that any Game of Thrones list has like a speech at number 1 and not like some epic battle scene, but Tyrion is all about the wit and dialogue, so that makes sense. What's your favorite Tyrion moment? Let us know in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe, and check out this other Game of Thrones video if you are jonesing for thrones.